Friendship is one of the most beautiful things in life, but also one of the most misunderstood. How many times have you asked yourself, are they really my friend? Or would they stand by me if I needed them most? These questions can linger, especially when we start to notice who shows up for us and who doesn't. But here's the truth, real friends are rare. They're like gems hidden in a sea of ordinary stones. The kind of people who lift you up, inspire you, and stay by your side, even when things get tough. Today, we're diving deep into this topic, using timeless wisdom from Stoic philosophy to uncover the 7 signs that show you have real friends. You see, the ancient Stoics believed that the people we surround ourselves with play a massive role in shaping our character and even our happiness. Marcus Aurelius himself said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, and nothing influences those thoughts more than the company we keep." So, if you've ever doubted your friendships or wondered who your true allies are, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll not only know how to spot real friends, but you'll also understand how to nurture and cherish these rare relationships in your life. Let's get started. Number 1. They support your growth. Let's start with the first and perhaps one of the most important signs of a real friend. They support your growth. Picture this. You've decided to make a big change in your life. Maybe you're working on starting a business, going back to school, or even just trying to live a healthier lifestyle. A real friend is the one who cheers you on, not the one who tries to bring you down. Think about it. When you share your goals or dreams, do they encourage you? Do they say, "You've got this," or offer to help you along the way? A real friend doesn't feel threatened by your growth. Instead, they celebrate it because to them, your success is their success. Here's a story to think about. Imagine 2 friends, John and Mike. John decides he wants to start running every morning to improve his health. Mike, instead of mocking him or trying to tempt him to skip a run, says, "I'll join you." And even if Mike doesn't run with John every day, he's there, asking how it's going, motivating him to stay on track. That's the kind of person you want in your corner. Now let's flip the coin. Maybe you've had someone in your life who didn't react so kindly to your ambition. They might have made sarcastic comments, acted dismissive, or even laughed at your plans. That's not a real friend. A true friend doesn't envy your progress, they're inspired by it. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, said it best. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, and who influences your thoughts more than the people you surround yourself with. If someone is genuinely happy for you and pushes you to be the best version of yourself, that's a sign you've found a real friend. So here's a question for you. When you achieve something big or small, who are the first people to celebrate with you? Are they genuinely happy, or do they try to downplay your success? Real friends show their support in small but powerful ways. They might help you prepare for a job interview, send you encouraging texts, or just remind you that you're capable of amazing things. These actions may seem small, but they mean everything. Take a moment to reflect on the people in your life. Are they pushing you forward or holding you back? Pay attention because who you choose to keep close matters. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. Think of someone who has supported your growth and tell us what they did to inspire you. And hey, if you have a real friend like this, don't forget to remind them how much they mean to you. Number 2, they offer honest criticism. Real friends are the ones who will tell you the truth, even when it's hard to hear. And that truth is not always sugar-coated. It's not about making you feel good in the moment. It's about making you a better person in the long run. We've all been there. You make a mistake, or maybe you're doing something that isn't serving you, and everyone else just smiles and nods. But a real friend will speak up. They won't just tell you what you want to hear. They'll tell you what you need to hear. The Stoics were big on facing reality head-on. Marcus Aurelius, for example, wrote in his meditations about how we should surround ourselves with people who challenge us to grow, not those who merely reinforce our own biases. The best way to develop is to receive honest criticism. That's a lesson that not only helps us grow in philosophy, but in our friendships too. Let's say you're going through a rough patch, maybe at work or in your relationships, and you've started making poor decisions. It's easy for people to just ignore it, to avoid stepping on your toes, and to let things slide. But a real friend is going to step in. They might say something like, "Hey, I noticed you've been really stressed lately, and I think that's affecting your judgment," or, "I don't know if this is the right path for you." Stings a little. Maybe it even feels like a punch in the gut. But deep down, you know they're right. Honest criticism, when given with care and respect, isn't about hurting you, it's about helping you. Think about it. Wouldn't you rather have someone who challenges you to be better, even if it feels uncomfortable at the time, than someone who just lets you drift along, never encouraging you to change or improve? Real friends don't enable bad behavior. They help you see your flaws and encourage you to fix them. They see the potential in you even when you can't see it in yourself. But here's the thing, honest criticism isn't always easy to give. It takes courage. It requires a real connection, and it's often a tough conversation. A lot of people are afraid of conflict or don't want to hurt your feelings, so they hold back. But a true friend is willing to have that difficult conversation because they care about you more than they care about avoiding discomfort. They want to see you succeed, even if it means calling you out on things that are hard to hear. Let me give you an example. Maybe you've been putting off something important, whether it's a project at work or a personal goal. A fake friend might just let you keep procrastinating, not wanting to push you. But a real friend, the kind of friend we're talking about, might say, "Look, I know you're capable of so much more than this. You've got to stop putting it off." That's real friendship. That's someone who has your best interests at heart, even if it makes them uncomfortable to speak up. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The way you handle that criticism tells you a lot about the strength of your friendship. If you're able to hear it without getting defensive, without shutting them out, that's a sign of a deep, healthy relationship. You know they're not attacking you, they're helping you. But if you find yourself getting angry or dismissing their feedback, maybe it's time to take a step back and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Sometimes the truth hurts, but it's the truth that sets you free. And the best friendships are built on that truth. So, when was the last time a friend gave you tough love? Maybe it was a little hard to swallow at first, but later you realized how much it helped. Those moments are the ones that shape us. They make us better, stronger, and more aware of the person we're becoming. And that's what real friends do. They help us grow by telling us what we might not want to hear but desperately need to. Think back to that one friend who told you the truth, even when you didn't want to hear it. How did it make you feel? Did it make your bond stronger? I want to hear your stories. Leave a comment below and share how a friend's honesty changed you for the better. Number 3. They listen without judgment. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to talk to someone who truly listens? When life gets overwhelming or you're facing challenges, having a friend who listens without judgment is invaluable. It's not just about hearing the words you say, but about truly understanding what's behind them. This is one of the most important signs of a real friend, and it's something the Stoics really emphasized. Take a moment and think about the people in your life. When you're upset or need to vent, who do you go to? Is it the friend who immediately starts offering solutions or turning the conversation back to themselves? Or is it the one who simply listens, holds space for you, and makes you feel like your words matter? In Stoic philosophy, there's a strong emphasis on empathy and understanding. Marcus Aurelius, for example, believed that we should constantly remind ourselves that everyone has their own struggles, their own battles, and their own challenges. A real friend listens because they understand that sometimes you don't need someone to fix things, you just need someone who can hear you out. Think about the times when you felt overwhelmed or frustrated. Did you have someone in your corner who let you express yourself without interrupting or telling you what to do? Did they just listen with no judgment, no rush to offer their own opinion or advice? That's the power of real friendship. Sometimes, just being heard can make all the difference. It's easy to get caught up in thinking we need to have all the answers. But sometimes, just having a friend who truly listens can help us find those answers on our own. Real friends know this. They give you the space to share without feeling rushed, criticized, or misunderstood. They don't jump to conclusions, and they certainly don't judge. Instead, they meet you where you are, accepting your feelings, your frustrations, and even your vulnerabilities. Here's an example. Imagine you're having a tough day at work. Maybe you didn't get that promotion you wanted, or you're struggling to manage your responsibilities. You reach out to a friend to talk, and instead of them telling you to just get over it, they let you talk. They allow you to express your disappointment, your frustration, and your feelings. They don't try to fix you or change your mind, they just listen. They validate your emotions by saying, "I get why that's tough. I'm here for you." That's what it means to truly listen without judgment. It's not about having all the answers. It's about creating a safe space for someone to be themselves. In Stoic terms, this is all about practicing empathy and understanding. By listening without judgment, a real friend helps you process your emotions, which, in turn, can lead you to clarity and peace. When someone truly listens, it's like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. You feel heard, you feel understood, and you feel less alone. That's what a real friend does. They make you feel seen and heard, even in your most difficult moments. So, ask yourself, who in your life listens like this? Who shows up when you need someone to hear you out? That's a true friend. And when you find someone like that, treasure them because they are rare. If you've ever had a friend who listened to you without judgment, drop a comment below and share your experience. And if you're lucky enough to be that kind of friend, keep doing it. It's one of the most meaningful gifts you can offer. Number 4, they respect your boundaries. In today's fast-paced world, everyone's constantly juggling commitments, work, family, and personal goals. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of expectations from others. But here's the truth. Real friends respect your boundaries. They understand that saying no isn't a rejection of them, but rather an act of self-care. Imagine this. You're exhausted, mentally drained from a long week, and you're invited to yet another gathering or event. You know you need time to recharge, but the guilt starts creeping in. Should you go? You don't want to disappoint anyone. But then, there's that one friend who, when you tell them you need some time alone, simply says, "I get it. Take care of yourself. We'll catch up another time." They don't push you. They don't guilt-trip you. They respect your need for space and they're okay with it. That, my friends, is what it means to have a real friend in your life. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of setting healthy boundaries, not just with others, but with ourselves. It's about understanding our own limits and sticking to them, regardless of the pressures around us. A real friend understands that your personal well-being comes first, and they aren't offended when you choose your own peace over an obligation. When you have a friend who respects your boundaries, you feel safe. You know that no matter what, they'll never push you into doing something you're uncomfortable with. Whether it's turning down a last-minute invitation or saying no to a request that feels overwhelming, they respect your decision and support you in it. They don't take it personally because they understand that respecting boundaries isn't about them. It's about preserving your mental and emotional health. But here's where it gets interesting. Respecting boundaries isn't just about physical space. It's also about emotional space. A real friend knows when to give you room to express your feelings and when to pull back. They don't force you to talk when you're not ready, and they don't invade your private thoughts. Instead, they create an environment where you feel comfortable enough to open up, but never pressure you to do so before you're ready. Think about the friends who've always been there for you during tough times. They know when you need to talk, but they also know when you just need someone to sit with you in silence. They don't make it awkward. They're simply there, and that's all you need. That's the mark of a true friend. Someone who respects your boundaries while still offering you support. Sometimes, respecting boundaries also means accepting that not everything is about them. In our busy lives, it's easy for people to become self-centered or expect others to revolve around them. But a real friend doesn't make you feel like you always have to be available to meet their needs. They get it when you need your own time and space. And that's what makes these friendships so valuable. They're built on mutual respect. When your friend respects your boundaries, they're showing you that they care about your well-being just as much as their own. That's the foundation of a healthy, enduring friendship, one that can withstand the pressures of life and still remain strong. So, ask yourself, do the people in your life respect your boundaries? Or do they push you past your limits, expecting more than you're willing to give? If you have friends who understand this balance, hold on to them. They are the ones who will always have your back, no matter what. Number 5. They show up when it matters. There's a saying that goes, true friends are the ones who show up when the rest of the world walks out. And that couldn't be more true. We've all been through tough times, whether it's facing a personal crisis, going through a heartbreak, or even dealing with a small but significant life challenge. And in those moments, the people who really care about you aren't just the ones who say, I'm here for you. No, the real friends are the ones who actually show up. Think about a time when you needed someone. Maybe it was when you were struggling at work, or perhaps you were dealing with something personal, and you didn't even know how to ask for help. Now, picture the people in your life at that moment. Did someone reach out? Did they make an effort to show they cared, even when it wasn't convenient? That's the kind of friend we're talking about here. Real friends are there for you in ways that matter. They don't just send a text or leave a comment saying, let me know if you need anything. They're the ones who pick up the phone, show up at your doorstep, or come over to your place to sit with you in silence if that's what you need. They know that sometimes words aren't enough and actions speak louder. Imagine this: you've had a tough week at work. Things aren't going your way, and you're feeling defeated. You're sitting at home, scrolling through social media, and then you get a message from a friend. Hey, I'm on my way over to hang out with you for a bit. Let's grab dinner. Now, that's a real friend. Someone who makes the effort to be there for you, not because they need something, but because they know you need a break. They're showing up for you, even when they have their own busy lives. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of virtue and strength in adversity. It also teaches us to value people who are not only there during the good times, but who stay with us during the tough times. A real friend doesn't vanish when life gets complicated. They stick around because they believe in you. Think about Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics to ever live. He was an emperor, facing constant wars and personal challenges. Yet, through it all, he valued the people who showed loyalty to him, not just as his subjects, but as his true friends. These people didn't simply admire his power. They supported him, helped him, and made sure he wasn't alone during his most challenging times. It's not always about being with someone during the big moments, like birthdays or anniversaries. Real friendship is in the quiet, everyday acts of love and loyalty. When you're sick and your friend insists on bringing you soup. When you're feeling low and a friend calls, just to listen. When you lose your job, and a friend is there to remind you that this setback doesn't define you. These moments, big or small, show you who your true friends are. So, think for a moment. Who's shown up for you when life was difficult? Who was there even when it wasn't easy? And most importantly, who did you show up for when they needed you? Real friends are the ones who stand by you when the world feels like it's falling apart. They stay, they help, and they make sure you're not alone. And remember, if you're that person who's always there for others, don't take it for granted. Those who show up for their friends in times of need are the true pillars of friendship. Keep nurturing these relationships, because when life gets hard, you'll know exactly who's got your back. If you've had a friend show up for you when you needed them most, drop a comment and share your story. And if this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Real friends don't just talk, they act, and they make a difference in our lives. Number 6. They value your happiness. Real friends, the ones who truly care about you, have a unique way of making you feel happy, genuinely happy. It's not about flashy moments or quick thrills. It's the kind of happiness that comes from being around people who want the best for you, not because of what you can do for them, but because they see the goodness in you. Stoicism teaches us that true joy comes from living a life of virtue, not from chasing after external pleasures. And a real friend knows this. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a time when you were down, maybe you had a rough day or something didn't go the way you planned. And in the middle of all that, there's that one friend who knows exactly how to lighten the mood. They don't need to do anything dramatic. They don't need to be the life of the party. Instead, they have this quiet way of showing up, making you laugh, and reminding you that it's okay to take life one step at a time. Think about it for a second. In life, it's easy to get caught up in the negative. Stress, work problems, family drama, it all builds up. But a real friend doesn't add to that burden. Instead, they lift you up. They understand that your happiness isn't a competition. They don't try to make themselves feel better by putting you down or outshining you. Instead, they find ways to help you rediscover your joy. Sometimes they'll share a funny story. Other times, they'll just listen. Maybe they'll bring over your favorite food after a tough week or send a message just to check in. They know that happiness isn't about big gestures. It's the little things that make the difference. And these small, consistent actions, they're priceless. In fact, Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius would argue that a real friend's value doesn't lie in how often they're around, but in how deeply they contribute to your well-being. It's easy to be friends with someone when everything's going great, but the true test of friendship comes when things aren't so perfect. A real friend stands by you, not because it's convenient, but because they genuinely want to see you happy and thrive. They cheer for your success without any envy, and they're there for you during your lows, not out of obligation, but out of a real desire to see you feel better. If you're someone who values your happiness, then pay attention to the friends who value it too. They'll be the ones who remind you of what truly matters, who help you stay grounded when things get chaotic, and who encourage you to keep moving forward when life feels uncertain. They understand that true happiness is not something you find outside of yourself, but something that grows from within. And when you have friends like that, they make it easier to find your inner peace, no matter the storm around you. So, when was the last time you felt this kind of happiness, pure, unforced, and rooted in the support of your friends? Think about who's been there for you, not just during the good times, but also when things weren't so great. That's the sign of a real friend. One who values your happiness just as much as their own. Who in your life makes you feel genuinely happy? Take a moment to tag them in the comments below and let them know how much you appreciate their friendship. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with someone who could use a reminder of the power of true friends, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Number 7. They stay loyal, even in difficult times. Life is full of ups and downs, and if we're being honest, it's often in the hardest times when you discover who your real friends are. Stoicism teaches us that adversity reveals the true nature of people, especially those who claim to be our friends. Real friends are the ones who stay by your side, no matter the storm. They don't disappear when things get tough. They dig in and show up. Think about it for a moment. Who are the people who have been there for you during your lowest points? Maybe it was when you lost your job, went through a tough breakup, or faced a family crisis. Real friends don't walk away when life gets hard. They lean in, offering support without expecting anything in return. They know that true friendship isn't just about the good times. It's about showing up when the world feels heavy. I want you to think about a time when you went through something painful. Maybe you were facing a personal struggle, and you could feel everyone around you pulling away. But then, there was that one friend who didn't flinch. They didn't judge you, didn't tell you what to do, and they didn't make it all about them. They simply stood by your side, listened, and made sure you knew that you weren't alone. That's loyalty. That's the kind of friend who will be with you through thick and thin. In Stoic philosophy, we talk a lot about virtue, about being the best version of yourself, especially when it's hard. Well, loyalty is one of those virtues. It's not flashy or loud, but it's one of the most important qualities you can have as a friend. A loyal friend doesn't just show up when things are easy. They show up when life tests you. They don't bail when there's nothing left to give. They stand with you, even when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or when everyone else has walked away. Real friends make the choice to stay, even when the circumstances change. They understand that friendship is not transactional. It's about being there for each other, no matter what. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The true friend is the one who comes in when everyone else walks out. And that's exactly what a loyal friend does. They don't need a reason to stay. They stay because they care. They stay because your pain doesn't scare them away. And they stay because your happiness, your success, and your well-being matter to them. It's easy to be friends when everything is going well. But the test of a real friendship is when life throws challenges at you. A real friend will show up at your lowest point, and their presence will remind you that no matter how dark it gets, you won't face it alone. They remind you that you are strong enough to make it through, and you have someone in your corner who believes in you, even when you doubt yourself. So, Take a moment and reflect on the friends you have in your life. Are they there when you need them most? Do they stay loyal when things aren't easy? Real friends don't just walk the good road with you. They stand with you when you're lost, broken, or just plain tired. And those friends, they're priceless. Real friendship is not about quantity. It's about quality. It's about who sticks with you when life gets hard, and who makes you feel supported, loved, and understood. Those are the friends who deserve your loyalty in return. As we wrap up today's video, I want you to remember this. Real friends are not just the ones who hang around when life is easy. They're the ones who stand by you when things get tough. They help you grow, challenge you when needed, and support your happiness without expecting anything in return. These are the kind of friendships Stoicism encourages us to build. Relationships rooted in trust, loyalty, and virtue. Take a moment and think about the friends you have. Do they show up in your life the way we discussed today? Do they embody the qualities of real friends? If you've got friends who fit these signs, hold on to them. And if you're realizing there's some room for growth in your friendships, that's okay too. Real friends help each other improve. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Who in your life stands out as a true friend? Drop a comment below and share your story with us. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear these signs today. We all need a reminder of what real friendship looks like. And who knows, your share might help someone identify the true friends in their life. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. Stay wise, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.